time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome everyone to another special edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 1121, as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So do us all a favor, fasten your safety belt, put your tray table up, put your seat in the full upright position. Please keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? Never forget, y'all. Never. I'm going old school tonight. Never forget.
I forgot.
Never forget. Lomo could forget because he wasn't there. Alongside,
I was.
Oh yes, you were. You were like
because
six months old.
Because you were sitting there cussing the TV out, and Mom picked me up and went upstairs.
Walked out. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, there's a moment where, we'll talk about that later. Okay. Actually, along with your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, there is the 12-Man Fan Jam Show posse, and that over there, that's Will. Hi, Will. How are you?
Oh, me.
You're right there, Will.
I'm doing well, Moses. How are you?
Good. How are the holidays treating you?
Reasonably well. And
good.
You know, you bring up Super Bowl 40, and that brings back memories of being in Detroit for Super Bowl 40, and
you and I at that bar.
Taking over the Steel Bar for Super Bowl 40.
So funny.
And getting stuck in downtown Detroit after midnight, the night before Super Bowl 40, and wondering if I was going to get out alive.
Nice.
That was quite the adventure.
I met you up there. It was funny because we were with all the super fans, our friends, and there was a truck. When a truck came out or something, a Steeler car or something came by, and they decided to go out and harass it. So they all got up. It was like an Avengers movie. They all got up. And I remember Will at the top of his voice saying, "Media hordes, assemble!" And everybody ran outside.
I hung out with Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk, Painted Hawk, Ball, Kilt Man, and anytime they stopped for more than 10 seconds, everyone converged on them. Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?
I believe it.
I took more pictures with more different cameras in that weekend than I have in my entire life.
That's awesome. Good times. So I remember being up there the day before, and then I got snowbound about 6 hours from Indy on Super Bowl Sunday. So I had to make it. I got in about an hour before kickoff, I think is when I got into the house to watch the game. So,
oh, wow.
But anyway, because Detroit's about 6 hours from here. But enough of that. I'm sorry. I digress. Over there is Matt from Merry Old England. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Well, very sad news coming obviously from the Aaron Rodgers camp. He is officially not going to be coming back this season now in the end. Apparently he was not telling the entire truth when it came to about his injury.
Whoa!
Shocking. If you haven't, though, just to say, if you Nick Carter, one of the sports journalists, talking heads that they have, I don't particularly like him. He's not my favorite talking head, but nevertheless, if you get a chance, go on Twitter, just Google him, Google Aaron Rodgers, and watch somebody describe Aaron Rodgers as the most disingenuous athlete of our lifetime.
I saw that, and I did see that. It was quite wonderful to watch. I mean, it was quite entertaining.
He just loses it.
He did. And it's funny because about a week ago, I saw a commercial for his show, and I asked Lobo, "Who is that guy?" He's like, "I don't know." Now I know who it is. It's Nick Carter, and it's also on TikTok. If you look up that same thing, it's a rant. It's a downright rant. But
it just gets worse. It just starts layering. The most
just matter and it just keeps going. It's hysterical. Good stuff, Matt. Well, I'm sorry about Aaron Rodgers not making it through the season, but who knew?
Who knew?
Someone else that didn't know, and that's Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Zachary's still here, so.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good. How much longer is Zachary gonna be hanging around?
He leaves on the 3rd.
Leaves on the 3rd. All right.
Yep.
We'll send him our appreciation and our congratulations and our support, please. Absolutely.
Will do.
Zachary coming in to visit Dustin from the Air Force from Germany, I believe. Yep. Coming in for the holidays, so that's been a wonderful time, I'm sure, at the Knight household.
For sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Someone who is always in our household or my household. That's little Mo. Hi, little Mo.
How's it
My
going?
son. Good. How are you? How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Doing fantastic. Watching TV and being on the podcast as always. What's your choice this evening?
The Cotton Bowl.
Cotton Bowl.
Missouri and Ohio State.
Missouri and Ohio State. Yes. You had Dude earlier. Where did Dude go? Dude, our mascot.
I don't know.
All right, he's around somewhere. Like
did
most
you enjoy the Mayo Bowl?
Oh, won't they eating it? Won't the college kids just eating it?
There were college kids just chugging it, and then at the end, I turned it off. I didn't watch the game. I flipped it off. But I noticed on TikTok that apparently the coach got drenched in mayo when he won.
They dumped mayo on the winning coach.
Listen, I'll watch any gory movie you want that isn't watching somebody get drenched in mayo. So,
guys, just between us, next time we're all in Seattle together, remember to bring lots of mayo, and we'll get Dennis at some point before the game or after the game.
Yeah, let's not
Good
do
thinking.
that. Let's say we did and we didn't. But let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's look at the format for this show. Yes, 12-man Fan Jam show format, which is run just like a real football game, 4 quarters and a halftime. It's quarter one. Notice the nice special effect fireworks for New Year's Eve. Yeah. Yeah. Quarter one is the news. Will has a particular news item we're going to talk about. I have a feeling. If you have not been in a hibernating this week as a Seahawk fan, I think you know what we're going to talk about. Quarter two, we'll talk about last week's game. That is a victory over the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee 2017. Halftime, of course, is our favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. I refer to 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
Last week's victor was Will, wasn't it?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah, it was Will.
It was Will.
It was Will, yeah. Quarter three, we'll talk about the game coming up between the Seahawks and those Pittsburgh Steelers and give you all, we got injury reports, we got fashion, we got weather, we got sermon Seahawk positivity, we got Bricks picks even in that third quarter. We put all together, we have a Little Mo Madden Challenge, and we also have our game predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seahawks and those Pittsburgh Steelers. But like we always like to do, especially the holiday season, we'll let you know if you've been naughty or nice, we are everywhere you want to be when it comes to the intraweb. First, Facebook, a 12-man Fan Jam Show, game day threads, and more. I got something exciting maybe next week to talk about at that point. We are also on Twitter or X at 12-man Fan Jam Show. This is the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. I put up a new TikTok, or email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. I put on a new TikTok about me hating mayo at 12-man Fan Jam Show. So if you wanted to see me almost vomit, you can get on to our TikTok channel, which is 12-man Fan Jam Show. And, of course, we are always a Seahawk Positivity production. And now, as always, it's time to go to the first quarter and our 12-man Fan Jam Show news report with Will. All right, Will, what you got for us this week, as if I didn't know?
Well, Moses, if you were watching football on Christmas Eve, you probably saw the end of the Patriots-Broncos game, where Denver came back from a pretty significant deficit in the fourth quarter, managed to tie it up, even got the ball back, but went 3-and-out and gave it back to New England, who subsequently drove down for a long game-winning field goal.
Ooh.
Which pretty much killed Denver's playoff chances for the year, which were not great to begin with, but now they're much less. News broke a couple days later that Russell Wilson was going to be benched for the remainder of the season. And later that day, reports came out that the team had actually approached Wilson much earlier in the year after they had defeated the Chiefs for the first time in, I think it was like 7 years, 14, a long time, which was right before their bye week, and told Wilson they wanted him to change his injury guarantee, which the way his contract is currently scheduled, He is set. Well, his 2025 salary is currently guaranteed for injury only. If he's on the roster in the 5th day of the 2024 league year, that $35 million becomes fully guaranteed, which means one way or another they got to pay it to him.
Ooh.
They wanted Wilson to change that. Earlier reports said that they wanted him to waive the injury guarantee altogether. Later on this week, though, it came out that the team had actually asked him to delay the date for his injury guarantee becoming fully guaranteed, moving it from the 5th day of the league year in 2024 to the 5th day in the league year of 2025, which gives the team would have given the team more flexibility going forward. Wilson was shocked at the request and declined. The league and the union got involved. Nothing was changed with regard to his contract, and Wilson, of course, remained a starter for another 2 months. The Broncos went on a bit of a run, and it was looking for a while that they may be a playoff team, but they had just lost too many games, and last weekend's defeat pretty much guaranteed that they will not be making the playoffs. So the Broncos are shutting him down for the rest of the year. That, combined with the early reports, make it almost 100% guaranteed that they are going to be cutting Russell Wilson right as soon as the new league year starts. And then, ironically, the quarterback who is taking over for Wilson is Jarrett Stidham, who last year was playing for the Las Vegas Raiders when they benched Derek Carr with 2 weeks left to go in that season.
Wow.
They didn't want to pay him any guaranteed money, and we're moving on with him as well. So this seems to be Jarrett Stidham's niche, taking over for quarterbacks that teams don't want to pay. But in any event, Broncos country is not going to be riding much longer.
Wow.
Wilson is almost surely going to be a free agent next year, and yeah, interesting times.
Interesting times. Let's attack this first about the situation in Russell Wilson's contract. We'll get to what about Russell Wilson in the future coming up, but let's first things first. The contract itself, the contract dispute, as we can call it. What are your views on that? Well, I guess we'll start with Will. Will, what are your thoughts on the contract dispute? Do you lay on either one of those sides? I can see both sides, but what are your thoughts on it?
Well, people tend to get mad at players that hold out into a contract and try to renegotiate after they've been playing well for a couple of years.
Yes.
So if you take that tack, you kind of have to get upset at the team for saying, hey, this big new deal that we signed you to, we want you to change it to make things easier for us. And, oh, by the way, that means you might not get that $35 million that we had promised to pay you and didn't want to pay you. So,
yeah.
I mean, do you believe contracts should be honored, or do you not? So it's just, I think you just have to take a consistent tone with this, no matter which side you come down on.
That's kind of where I fall. Dustin, what are your thoughts about the contract itself, and should he allow that cut to maybe free up some cap space? I don't think Tom Brady ever saw his contracts ever run to fruition. He was cutting every year. He was cutting this much off or that much off, or changing his contract so they can bring players in, which is great. And it's a wonderful thing.
He also had a supermodel wife that made a lot more money than he ever did.
Right.
So is Sierra.
Yeah. So Sierra.
Granted.
But at the other side, a contract's a contract, right, Dustin? Or what are you thinking about this?
Well, I get what Tom Brady did, what he did, and that was it helped take care of the team a little bit and helped him get better players in. But I think when you're looking at an injury clause, because the NFL is a very short term career, and you can get hurt at the drop of a dime. I think it would be stupid of the player to drop that. Because that's a lot of money that he could potentially lose out on. So I don't blame Russell one bit.
He's not getting any younger.
No, and they both agreed to it. And Denver knew that this was happening. They knew that was a part of the deal.
Yeah.
And don't agree to something if you're not gonna, not honor it, I guess I should say. Now, like I said, if it wasn't an injury guarantee, I'd probably be more leaning towards that. If he wants to win, he should probably go ahead and renegotiate, free up some money. But seeing as how it's there specifically in case he gets injured, I think it was a smart move on his part. He should stick with it.
And I think also that's there between him and like Brady, because like what they get these superstars, what they'll do is they'll like backload the guarantee money. So like he may shave off $4 million off his contract, but he's still gonna get the $4 million. He's just gonna get like 3 or 4 years from now. So a lot of them they push it back, like they say we're gonna take $6 million here, and so it's not like this situation, which is a little different as well. So.
Like in baseball, Ken Griffey Jr. is still getting paid by the Reds.
Well, Bobby Bonilla Day every day. Bobby Bonilla still getting paid. Lil Mo, what are your thoughts on the contract? Just the contract itself. I mean, do you fall on the side of Russell or the Broncos?
I am 100% on the side of Russell Wilson because he signed it. They said yes, so they have to deal with that. When they signed it, they have to go through with that.
They had to agree with it at the time.
Yeah. Also, this is a true fact. Russell had 11 wins as a Broncos starting quarterback, assuming that it stops now, right? He has 12 bathrooms in his house.
Yeah.
So he has more bathrooms than wins as a Bronco quarterback.
Just saying.
But also, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant about Sean Payton because
yes, please.
If you look at Russell Wilson's numbers this year, he is not the reason they're losing.
He's not.
He is actually statistically doing better than someone like Patrick Mahomes. Statistically, if you look at his numbers, he has the same amount of touchdowns and way less interceptions than Patrick Mahomes. They are not losing because of Russell Wilson. This isn't going to change anything. I think this is going to happen no matter what. Sean Payton has been talking down on him pretty much all year, and Russell's done nothing, been quiet about it. And he's taken it very professionally, for being shit on the whole year by his own head coach. So I don't blame him for not taking the pay cut. I don't think he wants to be there.
I don't either. And I think when Lil Mo and I, real quick, I want to, before we get to Matt, when we get excited when the Broncos lose, it has nothing to do with Russell. I wish Russell the best. It's all about it's Sean Payton. I don't want Sean Payton to be successful. I do not want that guy to be successful. I think he's arrogant. I think he's time and time again shown he'll find a scapegoat and he'll use it. Mm-hmm. And this is just another example of finding a scapegoat.
He reminds me a lot of Bruce Arians.
Yeah, a lot. But Matt, let's talk about your thought about the contract situation.
Well, I mean, we hear this a lot. The NFL is a business. First and foremost. And in business, when you sign contracts with things, you kind of have to see them through to the bitter end sometimes, or at least until the first break clause is available. The Broncos tripped themselves over as fast as they could, almost, to sign an extension to an already 2-year agreement that he had left on his Seattle contract. They fell over themselves as fast as possible in September 2022 to sign a £245 million mega busting deal with their new future quarterback. In that deal, they agreed to certain terms and certain conditions, which I'm afraid there's no point almost begging to your quarterback, who, as Little Mo, I think rightly says, has put a lot of stuff. I think last year was a Wilson season. I think that was him trying to get himself back into sort of flow. This year, I think you've changed head coaches. You're changing things left, right, and center around a kid. He's I say kid, he's 35 years old now. But he's going to be. I'm still older than him.
He'll always be a kid, us.
Yeah. So you're changing things around him, and I think he's starting to get into flow. I think I was starting to see some Russell Wilson-esque moves and flows and stuff happening. The Broncos. The reason this will be a bust trade is not because of Russell Wilson in many ways. It's because the Broncos are going to cut before they probably should. They probably should hold another year at least to see whether he can actually deliver what he should be delivering. But the Broncos don't have time for that now. The media has moved around, moved him against him. The
Sean
fans
Payton.
are moving against Sean Payton. All of that's moved against him, so therefore they don't have that. But what you cannot do is go up to their agents and try to break the bargaining agreements that are in place in terms of player bargaining agreements and all that stuff in the background. Unions aren't going to fall for that. You cannot act dishonestly, and I'm really sorry, but that's what the Denver Broncos are doing in this situation. So for me, entirely on Wilson's side, it is a business. He should hold that money to his chest and say, no, this is what we agreed. If you want to cut me and still pay me the money, then you cut me and pay me the money. He can be a free agent.
That's the thing too, is they are gonna have like $100 million in penalties that they cut him too. So they're not even saving money with this.
They're not making any money out of this.
They are losing more money than making.
They can cut him and designate him as a post June 1st cut. Even though they're cutting him in March, they changed that a couple of years ago. You can cut somebody in March but still designate him as a post June 1st cut.
Really?
To allow the player more flexibility and the team more flexibility. So they're probably going to do that, which will defer some of the cap hit onto 2025. But they're still going to have a
But
lot
it's still
of.
going to be. It's still
for a
like a
couple of years.
55. It's still like a 55 million dead cap because of it, though. I mean, it's still up there.
They're gonna
Plus
spend
bonus.
a lot of cap space
Plus
to get
bonus.
Wilson out of there.
Yeah.
Well,
The thing is, they it's not like they couldn't have planned for this. They knew this was going to come.
Yeah.
They knew that was
Mhm.
there. They should have had the models in place to follow, knowing that was going to be a part of the equation.
I think part of the underlying problem here is when you talked about the deal that the Broncos went out and got him back in September 2022, did you say?
22, I believe it was.
Who wasn't part of that? Sean Payton. And I'm telling you, remember when was Alex Smith got kind of squeezed out by Kaepernick because Harbaugh showed up, he drafted Kaepernick, that was his guy. Now, I'm not saying Sean has his guy, but I'm saying that I think Sean's made it pretty clear that this is not his guy and he wants him out of the way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a big part of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
Sure.
the Broncos, in all honesty, they should hold for a year. If anything, get rid of
I
Sean
agree.
Payton.
Yeah.
Sean Payton's brought nothing to their field as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, they would do better to bring in a younger or another coach from somewhere else, hold him for a year, and because I'm starting just to see.
Yes, I
those
agree.
Glimmers
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
Wilson
I agree.
being able to play again.
It's too bad. All right, final question before we go to break here. Yeah, I know it's probably gonna be the answer for many of you. I will start with Matt. Okay, he's a free agent.
No.
Do you want him back, or do you see him going anywhere particular?
Do I sit him on? I don't want him back. To be
I don't
honest.
either.
And it's not because I've got any particular bad feeling about anything, but I think bad feeling exists, and so
Yes.
therefore you bring that into your camp. And right now, I just don't think we need that stuff.
No.
I think we can go out there. I still think we should get a young quarterback, so they're behind Gino, bring him out in 6 months' time, and then and go from there. So it's a no for me. Where will he land? I genuinely put him to the Jets. I don't know. I mean, it's anywhere. I mean, he can go. They can take him anywhere he likes. He's not going to be earning the money that he wants to earn, I think, going forwards. I mean, you're 35 years old. You've made a ton of cash. You've got a rich wife. I don't know. Retire. Save your injury.
He might.
Another
He just
kid.
might. He just might.
You've won a Super Bowl, so you don't need to chase for that dream. So just retire and be done with it.
Okay, little Mo, do you want him back? And if
No.
not, where do you think he'll go? Or do you have any idea?
I actually can really see him going to the Raiders. I think that just makes sense. In general, living in Las Vegas.
CR could get a job at the Grand
on the corner. Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
Oof. No, I can. I mean, yeah, I can see Las Vegas. I can also see him retiring too. He's made enough money, like Matt said. His wife just gave birth to another kid, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. So he's got father things to do. So I could see him retiring. He's got enough money.
He doesn't need the money. That's for sure. Dustin, want him back? Where do you think he'll go?
I have absolutely no idea where he's going to go or if he's going to retire or not. As far as bringing him back to Seattle, I say, on one of those one-day contracts when he's for sure ready to retire. Let him retire as a Seahawk.
I like that.
I like that.
But not to play again, no.
I agree. Will?
I'm also voting against bringing him back. I mean, even if you set all the bad blood aside, bringing in a 35-year-old quarterback for a couple of years is not what we need right now. We already have a veteran quarterback who can hold down the fort. We need a young quarterback who could possibly be the future of our franchise. As far as where he could go, one spot that could be interesting, depending on who ends up coaching there next year, because I think Ron Rivera's on his way out, but potentially Washington.
Oh, that's a good potential.
They've got a couple quarterbacks, but nobody's really set the world on fire. So you bring Wilson into a situation like that to go up against Sam Howell and whoever else they got there, and that could be interesting.
A little bit of a homecoming too, because he's from Richmond, Virginia, so he's real close there. Yeah.
I just wonder if he would be willing to be a backup.
No,
that's another thing.
I don't
see. So then I can see him retiring. Because
couple things though. I mean, he's not going to go someplace where he's guaranteed to be a backup. I think he'd be willing to go someplace where he would have this chance to compete for a job.
And he would in Washington.
because I think Wilson believes that if he has a chance to compete for a job, that he will win said job.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do too. So whatever happens, I honestly we do.
Wish him well.
I think all wish him well. 100% wish him well. Our hatred of the Broncos has to do with the head coach. It doesn't have to do with quarterbacks. So personally, for Lil Mo and I don't see him coming back. I don't. Same thing, you guys. 35-year-old quarterback. I think we've moved on from that era. It's time to continue to move forward, bring in a new quarterback, start a new era. But plus, I just don't think. Looking back, it just seems very odd to me that when he left, all these other old players started showing up again. They started, and I'm like, there's just something there that he was treated a little bit differently than everybody else. And I think it would be some bad blood. I just don't think it's worth getting into that mess at all.
Yeah, give it another 10 years, then induct him into the Ring of Honor.
Absolutely. And everyone will be celebrating that. So best wishes to Russell Wilson wherever he winds up. And this will end the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, end of the first quarter. Coming up, we're going to play some halftime trivia. We're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers game, rematch of Super Bowl XL. But before we do all that, we've got to talk about last week's victory against the Tennessee Titans. And we'll do that right after this. You're watching your 12-man Fan Jam show. Happy New Year, everybody.
Except no substitutes.
Or mayonnaise.
It's the second quarter.
Hey, welcome back to the second quarter of episode 1121, not 2111. The Pittsburgh Steelers version of your 12-man Fan Jam show. We're going to talk more about Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks, but in the second quarter, we go back and talk about the game previously, the win over the Titans. But before we do, Matt, I absolutely love what you're wearing, the Super Bowl XL champions. Got that from our friend Pain and Hawk Bruce, I believe you said.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
It's not real.
It's not real.
I love
One of the
it.
hats that didn't make it to Africa.
One hats didn't make it to Africa. We were talking also. I'll go ahead and share since we're talking about Super Bowl XL moments. Little Mo was about 3 months old, maybe 2 or 3 months old, and I was watching the game.
You baby.
And it was the game.
Fat baby.
It was the play where they don't talk about this a lot, but where Roethlisberger didn't go in and they called it a touchdown.
Oh, I was sitting in that corner of the stadium and I saw it plain as day.
and I like was sitting there, and when it happened, I rambled on about 20 or more cuss words in a row, just about this loud. Like I just went blank, blank, blankety, blank, blank, blank.
You let a couple fly.
And I just, this matter of fact, right?
But he wasn't yelling. He wasn't yelling. He just like calmly said it.
Beep, beep, beep. There's beeping. I swear to beep, the beeping mother, beeping. I just kept going. And I stopped, and Sally looked at me, and she looked at Little Mo, and she picked up Little Mo, and she went upstairs. And they were done for the night. But so anyway, we talked last period about Russell Wilson and his Russell, no. We talked last period. Last period. What? Last period. Last period. Go. Leave. Go. Sorry. We talked about Russell Wilson last quarter, and this quarter we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans victory, the Seahawks victory over the Titans 20-17. Another last-second touchdown there, Dustin. What are your thoughts on that game?
They can't make it easy, can they?
Never.
No, I had some real doubts there going into that last quarter. The offense was not offensing. The defense had a hard time stopping the run.
The offense was not offensing.
Yeah, no,
that's
nice. It was a little offensive, though.
It was offensive.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't want to be here.
End of the day, I mean, they were able to pull it out, got the win, and keep playoff hopes alive. So, I mean, that's good. It's just a very frustrating brand of football to watch, though.
It is, but I will tell you that I was looking up stats there. I'll tell you that what stats man Mark sent me, and he's right. And if you think about this, this is true. When you play somebody out of conference, out of division, you don't know what you're going to get. And part of that is just not being familiar with them. And so both teams kind of struggle because you're like, I don't know what they can do, and you're not used to them. So I
They
think
also
that
had
a lot of it.
a new quarterback too that you didn't have much tape on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earthquake.
Hey, you're
What
back.
we did know though is that they had injuries in the secondary, and
Secondary.
their best pass rusher was out. So
Yeah.
they just could not take advantage of it.
Just couldn't do it. You're right. You're right. Will, what are your thoughts?
Well, I find it amusing that Pete Carroll apparently liked the game against the Eagles so much he decided to play the exact same game.
Yeah.
Bro.
How nice of him.
But yeah, that last drive again, you had some pretty sweet passes from the quarterback. Gino this time instead of Drew Lock. You had a pretty impressive touchdown catch. And then you have the defense stepping up on the final drive. I mean, Dre Jones and Reek Woolen have not been playing particularly well this year, but they both came up with huge plays on that drive to ice it. So
Sure did.
Good for them. And how about our defense? I mean, remember that Rams game to start the year where we didn't even get near Matthew Stafford, and everyone's like, "Oh no, where's the pass rush?" Well, now Seattle leads the NFC in sacks with 45.
Isn't that crazy?
And had another 6 last Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
And Mafe was quite honestly, I thought, unblockable the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
yeah, he's he got off to such a hot start and then hit a bit of a slump, but hopefully this means he's breaking out of it again, because this guy can be our double-digit sack guy.
He can be.
Years to come.
He may be. He's at what, 7 or 8 now, so he's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to see. Yeah, Matt, your thoughts about this game?
I think it just, again, it showed a little bit that lack of consistency in the Seahawks, where motors and engines just aren't all running at the right tempo. It's all a little bit disjointed. It's all just a little bit disjointed. But I mean, I'm glad it was because of Christmas and family obligations, I missed the first quarter, which I'm quite pleased I did, because nothing happened in it. It was just punt. So I'm glad I missed all of that. But in terms of, I mean, there were some quite good stats in there from the team's perspective. Although I will say, can somebody please stop Derrick Henry? Can anyone stop Derrick Henry? I mean, you can only hope to contain him.
Derrick.
They might want to run up the middle. I don't know. I think I said that in the game day thread like 15 times.
They might want to do that.
Let's run. Let's not. They might want to run up the middle here. You might want to do something about that.
Well, then he'll pass over you for a touchdown.
Gracious.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, someone needs to stop that man. But I think some of the good stats that we had in there. I mean, we only allowed 3 sacks, which is great. Third down efficiency, we were the most efficient on third down. That never happens in games. 53%, absolutely stunning. Love that. Time of possession, we didn't really have it as long as they did, but we still won. That's good. And penalty wise, we had less penalties than them, and they were giving away some really weird penalties. They were all having. They were very undisciplined. In that
this is all scrambled,
phase.
but. Was this one of the false starts where the center ducking his head? No, not in that game.
The non-false start, you mean? The
the
poorly called false start.
I think so. I think this was this game, wasn't it, where he ducked his head and they counted it.
Does that false start? It's like, Jesus, what?
Yeah, they called one on one of the tight ends. I think he was looking down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Noah was just looking.
Like, he's allowed to look. That's not a false start.
I know.
It's weird.
Anywho. So, I mean, there were some good stats in there. I think obviously everything in the last drive. Can you win it in the fourth quarter? Apparently you can, with the same score as
Barely.
I wish I'd kept that score. I agree with Dustin. It is not a good product. It is not a football match that I enjoy watching. It's nerve-wracking. It makes me feel unwell. I get angry and I say bad words, and all of those things I try to avoid if at all possible, because it just gives you gas.
Exactly.
All of that stuff. Bad product. I don't want that product. I'd be much happier if we could win it in the second quarter. That would be ideal.
That'd be nice. Would that be nice?
Yeah.
Be so nice. Oh, look, it's 34-3.
Oh no! And our defense is going to stop them the rest of the game.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
I don't know. I'd love to
When's
find
the last
out.
time we blew out a team?
Not on a Pete Carroll.
Roger Goodell won't let us do it, little man.
The Giants
will
this
change
year.
the rules just so we can't.
Yeah, but we were 17-9 for the longest time, even in that blowout game.
Yeah. Little Mo, what do we forget? Anything?
I'm not gonna lie. What happened on the final drive? I don't know. I forget what happened.
What, 93, 94 yard?
Probably Parkinson.
Yeah, Colby
Yeah.
got the
yes.
win.
Okay.
DK
Great
Metcalf
catch,
made
right?
some incredible catches.
That's what I was gonna
Again.
say. Again, fourth quarter throw to DK every
Yeah.
single
How
time.
about DK Metcalf these last couple of games? I mean, he's been having a rough season, but
amazing
with the Eagles and now the Titans. It just shows that we really need Metcalf to step up and be a factor.
We really do. And
I will say,
even as well as it does.
Lockie decided to play this last Sunday, so that was cool.
Put up some numbers. Yeah. JSN looked solid.
The defense of again pretty much won us the game. I mean, I know it's the final drive, but another great defensive performance. I know they ran the ball, but they made stops when they needed to, and they didn't give up that many points. So
Love, unbelievable again.
He
had a pretty good week, all things considered.
Right.
Right. I mean, it would have been a whole different game if he hadn't have made it.
It would have been.
Oh yeah.
I bet Jamal would have played, honstly.
He might have in that case.
Gimpy knee. He'd only been on for like a couple of drives and then left.
I'm not sold that his knee is gimpy. I'm firmly in the camp that they're just using that as an excuse to bench him.
I don't think his knee is gimpier than it was, but I don't think it's ever been 100% this year. So it's the kind of thing where, like, if they need him to play, he can play, but they don't particularly need or want him to play. So it's like, he's got a knee injury.
Well, I mean, if Maffei can get his sacks and if the rush can be sort of maintained somewhere else, I'm quite happy to move on from that particular disaster story.
Yeah, me too.
I remain convinced that we will never see Jamal Adams in a Seahawk uniform again. So
not on the field.
Oh, there you go. Write it down and post it.
Right down. We'll put it in TikTok. Book it. We'll book that. Something else we'll book. I guess we'll just go ahead and move right on here. Let's book the Posse Prediction Challenge. Let's see how we did this week. All right, Posse Prediction Challenge. Let's see how we did. We did real well on the score. Maddie, Dustin, and Will all had 17 points for the Titans. Andy and Becky did too. Becky and Will both had 23-17. Really good job. Close on the score. Jose, 3 sacks. Metcalf, TD, 3 sacks. 3 different players with 1 sack, Will. We all got that.
With at least 1 sack. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Game ball, I gave it to Metcalf. I gave it to Lockett. I gave it to JSN. I didn't give it to Walker. It was 14 runs for his yardage per carry was not all that wonderful. Yeah. So I think that's fair. Charbonnet was MIA. Charbonnet MIA.
He certainly was.
It was over. It was under. I'm sorry. We had the same amount on both sides. So Will and myself and Jose and Becky got that. Meaning week 15 scores look like this. Will, the big champ, with 6. Nice Becky job. With 5, Dustin with 3, Andy with 3, Jose, Maddie with 2, Statsman Mark, Little Mo, and myself with 1. Here's what the standings are. Jimmy's still on top. Will's making a run. Chris and Andy are in it too. Becky's and Maddie have also made a run. Maddie was at the bottom for so long. Mike, 21, me at 20, Statsman Mark, and Dustin at 17.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Jose at 16, and Little Mo.
Also
Little Mo.
Yeah,
also played. So here's where we are with 2 games left, and maybe more than 2 games if we get in the playoffs. Team 12, 134. Team Posse 17 points. It was 21. We've cut it down a little bit to 17. Nice. So I think we're
still time left.
Still time left as we go to halftime.
Holy shit! It's halftime.
All right, it is time for halftime. But before we do that, I'm going to remind you that from here on out, it is all about the Seahawks and the Steelers in that game coming up Sunday that you don't want to miss. We'll have all the information for you, but before we do that, it is halftime and time for the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man fan jam show, halftime trivia.
The
world. And that is coming up right after this. Don't you go change it.
To try and please me. Mm-hmm.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Yes, welcome everyone to America's favorite Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet, 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
The game that challenges both the posse and those watching and listening to the program. Those of you watching and listening to the program, thank you. And also you'll have the questions on the lower left hand of your screen. play along with us. Let us know how you did. But for this point, the contestants are the posses themselves. Matt from Maryland, England, Dustin, Will, and Little Mo. And here are the rules. You each have 2 rounds of questions. Each question is worth a point for each correct answer. And during those first 2 rounds, if you'd like me to remove an answer that is not correct on your question, I may do that. At the end of that, we'll have a final question, which is high-low. The closest gets 2 points. If there's ties after that, those who are tied will go into a top secret double probation overtime question worth 2 points. And the winner will be crowned 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world. All right. So topic is the Steelers. There are 3 out of 4 questions each round that are Steelers Seahawk related and 1 that is not. So Will, you won last week. Would you like 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1, please.
Will take 1. Little Mo, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
Matt, 3 or 4?
3, please.
Oh gosh. Dustin, you have question 4.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The first question, Will, is not a football question.
Fantastic.
I want to know, what year did the ball first drop in Times Square? 1907, 1908, or 1910? Ball drop.
You were there. Weren't you there?
I was there when the ball dropped. I remember when the balls dropped. The ball dropped, sorry.
Take 1 away.
Take 1 away. I will take away 1910. It's either 1907 or 1908.
Let's do 1907.
Do a particular reason?
No.
Because you got it right.
Oh, cool.
Well, I was in Times Square in 2016 in December, and it was damn cold. And let me tell you why, the balls weren't dropping; the balls were going up.
Shrinkage.
Cold.
Shrinkage.
It was that cold.
It's pretty crowded, Matt, right? Pretty crowded
It's
up there.
massive. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Little Mo.
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Steelers in Seattle in 2003. How many times was Matt Hasselbeck sacked in that game? 4, 5, or 6?
I was -2.
Okay. So you should
I'm
know
also
this.
Wasn't the
watching
question.
You should know this.
football, this Cotton Bowl game. It's 3-0 at halftime. It's real ball burner.
Oh.
5.
5. A particular reason 5?
Because 5 is
Because it's the right answer.
Stab.
Little Mo on the board. 2 for 2. Matt.
Hello.
How many division championships have the Pittsburgh Steelers had in their history?
Jeez.
Division champions. 22, 23, or 24?
You never know this, so take 1 away, please.
I will take away 23. It's either 22 or 24.
I'll say 22.
Any particular reason? Just want to do it?
No, just want to do it.
It's wrong, so I don't know why I said that. Yeah, 24. 24 division. It's been around for a while.
I don't think we ever have a reason. It's a
No.
33.3333%.
Especially when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers division
Basically.
championship number.
Yeah.
Amen. Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Steelers in Seattle in 1982. Remember that game? I think that's the last time. No. The Steelers last won in 82, wasn't it? In Seattle?
Sure.
They haven't won in Seattle since
Sounds good to
1983,
me.
I think.
Okay.
But the question is, how many times was Jim Zorn sacked in that game? That's true, by the way. No, that's
Okay.
that's factual, y'all. Give me a second to look it up on the
factual,
magic.
Oh,
The
I'll do like
magic
everybody
button.
else said and take 1 away.
You take 1 away.
I'd take one away.
Steelers have not beat the Seahawks in Seattle since October 23rd, 1983.
Wow.
What'd you say?
Cool.
Take 1
Bye.
away.
Take 1 away.
Take 1 away. Okay. Let's take the 4 away. It's either 5 or 6.
I'll be optimistic and say 5.
Okay. A particular reason?
Because 5 is better that our quarterback gets sacked than 6 times.
You're right.
Oh,
3 out of 4. Look at you all.
oh
3 out of
no.
4. All right.
Having a mare.
Round 2. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wait.
Full
5,
point.
6, 7,
On
8.
point. Will. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now let's go 5. Why not?
Why not? Little Mo, 6, 7, 8.
6.
Dustin, 7 or 8.
8.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah.
He stayed with it. He stayed with the pattern.
It worked well the first time.
Yeah.
It did. Will, Seahawks
Right.
played the Steelers in Seattle in 1986. They shut out the Steelers in 86. How many points did they score in that game? 27, 28, or 30?
Ooh, I remember watching this game.
That's schoolgasm.
I don't know if that's scoregasm or not.
Orgasm.
Guys, remember that? Thank you.
Dustin, scoregasm?
Yeah. Probably was.
It's-
Weapons.
I'll do 30.
I'll do 30. You'll be right.
See, normally when Will
Wow.
does that, he knows already because it was on his birthday. Or
I know,
there was
right?
some
Yeah, he knows.
such
Yeah.
thing.
It was not. I just remembered the game.
I blinked my eyes 1,000 times that day. Like,
That was the day I crashed my car, and
No, that was a couple weeks ago. So
Oh, my
yes.
Little Mo, the Seahawks
Yes.
played the Steelers in Seattle in 1995. How many turnovers did the Steelers have in that game? 4, 5, or 6?
well, I haven't done this yet, so take one away.
Take away 6. It's either 4 or 5.
No.
Don't pretend that helped.
Four.
Yeah.
It made it 50-50. 4.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm the best.
What about that, Matt?
Hello.
Hello,
Will goes, huh?
Matt. Yours is not a. Oh, it is
Oh.
It's a Steeler fan. It's a Steeler question. What was
You got this.
the first name of the Pittsburgh football franchise before they were named the Pittsburgh Steelers?
They haven't always been the
Okay.
Steelers.
Were they the Pirates, the Rooney Men, or the Steagles?
I actually think I know this one.
The Ruby
Yeah, I
Man.
think I do too.
Sugar and tea. Sorry.
And also, the Pittsburgh Pirates is the baseball team, in case you're curious.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Pirates is the baseball team, by the way.
Agreed.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't help me.
No.
Yeah, I figured I'd tell you.
Rounders,
I'm
rounders.
going to go for the Pittsburgh Steagles.
The
That's what I would
Steagles.
have went with.
No, it's the Pirates. They're actually going to name them the Pirates.
Wow.
The Pittsburgh Steagles.
That was a
during
thing.
Combined with the Eagles.
in World War II, there were so few
Yeah.
players. The Eagles and the Steelers got together and became the Steagles.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was on that History of Football podcast.
But Dustin,
Yeah.
you don't get anything to do with Pittsburgh or Seattle. I want to know when the first Tournament of Roses parade was held. 1880, 1885, or 1890.
Hey, that was random.
You were there, weren't you?
How about 85? That sounds good.
1885. No, 1890.
I did not
Very
know that.
Wow.
Gosh,
Wow.
Honestly, the
uncultured
level-
swine.
There are a lot of
Yeah.
good. There are a lot of good answers here. We had Will with 2 out of 2, Mo 2 out of 2, Dustin
Perfect.
1 out of 2, and well, Matt, you got
I
nothing.
played.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Don't worry. You know why?
You need to set the table.
Because it is time for the final question.
Oh,
Question.
I'm
We
gonna
could have a
say crap
3-person
table.
overtime if Matt gets this question right.
Got my calculator ready. Go on
All
then.
right, let's do it.
Dazzle me.
It is a number, high low.
Yep. Always is.
Closest without going over gets it, and if
69,
everyone's over,
dude.
whoever's closest gets 2 points. There is a chance here. If Matt gets it, we will have overtime. So let's see.
Don't worry about that chance. Move on.
Here's your question, gentlemen.
That's a
Starting
good
with
table.
Matt.
Yep.
Matt, on average, how many babies are born each January 1st on the United States? January.
So think about this now. So we got to go 9 months before January. What happens 9 months before January, folks?
March.
St.
March
Patrick's
1st.
Day. A lot of drunkenness.
So March.
Easter.
Now what would happen now? Yeah, so March is going to be St. Paddy's Day kind of area. It's going to be so some
Well, I'm
areas going to be
drinking.
big, some areas
No,
going to
no,
be
no.
bad.
4. It'd be April, wouldn't it? It'd be April.
Oh,
April.
okay.
Oh,
Spring
for
break.
Easter then.
April
Oh,
Fool's
yeah.
Day. So here's what happens April Fool's Day. You say, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I played that joke on you. Let's have some makeup sex." There you go.
Or I'm going to pull out. April Fools. On average, how many babies are born? How many? Now you've got 300
Average.
million people in average. You got
That's
three-
on the whole ward. Yeah.
on
Okay. Cool.
average, I'm gonna go for 268,432.
Wow.
268, 432.
Yep.
All right, Dustin.
You'll be 1 over.
That is a lot of babies.
That's a lot of babies.
I'll
For one
just go even 100,000.
Dustin's going 100,000. 268, 40, 32, 100,000. Little Mo.
One baby.
One baby.
Don't do it, Will.
100,000.
Will.
100,000 even seemed high.
Don't do it, Will.
Oh, Will.
Don't do it, Will.
Oh,
Do
Will.
it. Do it too. Go on. You do it.
Don't do it.
What was Matt's again?
Matt's was 268,432.
32. It's the right
Dustin,
answer.
100,000.
Don't do it.
341,865.
He's
Man.
done me.
341, 865.
341, 865.
All right.
And if I'm one over, I'm gonna throw this thing across the room.
How many babies are born on January 1st in the United States?
On average.
11,293.
Oh wow.
I don't know where you all live,
Wait.
but
the
10,000 a
United
day,
I thought it was a whole
United
war.
States. No, it says in the United
I can't
States.
But I win.
What,
But you win.
11,000 babies on a day.
On
in the
one
United States?
day in our
On a
country
population
alone.
of
Our country.
yeah.
So, okay, 10,000
Where
times
did you get this
365.
number from Wikipedia or something?
No, okay, so,
Yeah.
okay. So if you had 10,000 babies born every day in just the
Yeah.
United States, mind you, not all the countries, just the United States. Well, okay.
All right,
So
carry the one.
10,000 times 365, you'd have over 3.5 million babies born in this country every year. That's a lot of
Yeah.
babies if you think about it.
Yeah.
Dustin's
Ship
agreeing
them
with me.
off.
Well, Moses, interesting fact, the most common birthday is October 2nd, which is exactly 9 months after
Sure.
January 1st.
January 1st.
So if you were
That's
born
pretty
if you were born in early October, you know when your parents were getting it on.
You know, and hey, listen, Lil Mo won. Congratulations, Lil Mo. We haven't even talked about it. All right, way to go, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
You won one baby. Got it. You got with the one baby.
And now
I'm
it's
so
time
proud
to
of
tell you
you.
you're going to be a grandpa.
So,
Yikes.
He would be delighted.
listen, socks can't have babies. All right, so this has been another
I use my hand.
head scratching, stomach turning,
Oh,
knee
you someone
wrenching,
else's-
Sock defiling.
sock defiling,
Yeah.
college
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. We'll be
Get
back.
on.
It's all about the Steelers and the Seahawks after this. We'll be right back, maybe. Please come back. We'll try to get this straightened out.
Baby, come back.
The thing is, Nick Cannon lives in America, so you must have more than
Oh, that's a good
11,293
point.
babies born in January.
Point made.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
It is the second half of your 12-man Fan Jam Show, episode 1121, the Pittsburgh Steelers edition. Steelers is up Sunday at 4:05 on the East Coast, 1:05 on the West Coast, and in England, Matt,
9:05 p.m.
9:05. We care now because he's back. Third quarter, we talk about all kinds of information. I like to bring in some food from the area of the team that we're playing. A little thing called "Hey Moses, what you eating?"
What's up? What you eating there?
Hey Moses, what you eating?
Well, what I'm going to eat here is kind of a tradition from over in Eastern Europe, supposedly. These are pierogies.
Oh, yes.
Okay. These are little mini pierogies. And I found out today when I got home, I got these at the local store here in Indianapolis. This Mrs. T's is actually a place from Pennsylvania that has made it able to get these around everywhere. They were hard to find, but I found them. They're basically like little dumplings. I can show you one here.
They kind of look like a grandpa's ball sack.
How'd
Okay. They're just like
Just what you
little,
want to hear before
Yeah.
eating one.
they're like
Look.
little dumplings with things in them. These are 4 cheese medley. aged cheddar, Parmesan Romano, and Swiss cheese, and creamy whipped potatoes wrapped in a tender pasta.
There's
So
potatoes
I've
in
got
it?
some, yeah, I got some pizza sauce here. Now, Mo's already eaten. I've never had one, so this is my first time.
You did boil them first, don't you? They're not hard.
I put them in the oven.
Okay.
They taste like cheese sticks. Big little cheese sticks.
Yeah. I mean, it's cheese, it's potato, it's, I mean, what's not to like? I mean, it's as advertised.
Cheese.
It's very
almost
bready.
like-
Pizza sauce.
Very bready.
Yeah, we have pizza sauce too.
Pizza sauce plus. So I'll give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right.
Supposedly,
Need
Wash
some
it down-
mayo.
Wash it down with some
Mrs.
mule.
This Mrs. T's apparently revived them in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and started selling them coast to coast. Mass produces them, but they're just like little, there's like little appetizers. They're nice little appetizers. Not bad.
Well, I'm glad to see that Mr. T's wife is not just resting.
I was gonna say that.
fruits of
That's
his-
brought to you again
branch
by
out on
Mrs. T. I pity the fool who will not eat my pierogies.
See, isn't that's the marketing tagline that should be underneath that? Mrs. T, I pity the fool that won't eat my dumplings.
Doesn't it go with your grandpa's ball sack?
To be honest, it doesn't. But I'm
I've never
guessing I
looked at
have
my
more
grandpa's
experience
ball
with old
sack,
men's
so-
ball sacks than you do.
Well, both
You
mine
have,
are
you have
gay.
some weird hobbies, little Mo. Let me
Yeah,
tell
you
you.
do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him to counseling this week, but
The
anyway.
things you do to pass the time
right?
in
I'll
Indiana.
just send him back.
Anyway, so let's move on from the grandpa's ball sacks to the 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report by going to our resident doctor, Dr. Dustin. With the 12-man Fan Jam Show injury report, Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
Is there a ball sack injury?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, somebody
Okay.
called it Roy.
Only Dustin's.
That would have been a segue, so I was just asking.
Yeah, fair enough.
We know why you're asking, Will.
All right, we're gonna start out with the Steelers. They
Anyway.
have a few people out and they have one player questionable. So not playing this week is Minka Fitzpatrick with a knee injury. Trenton Thompson
That's
with a neck
big.
injury. Yeah, it is. And then Landon Roberts with a pec injury. He hurt his boob. Yeah. And their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, has an ankle injury. So we might be seeing Rudolph. We'll see what happens. For the Seahawks, it's a little more extensive than that. They have several questionable players. Witherspoon, who sounds like he might actually play though. Metcalf has a late week back injury apparently.
Yeah.
Jordan Brooks has that ankle injury from last game. Nick Ballor's got a knee injury he's dealing with, and Kenneth Walker is still dealing with that shoulder injury, and apparently he's also sick. So we'll see what happens with
great.
him. Yeah, pretty sweet. And then out for sure. Mario Edwards has got a knee injury. He's out. No surprise. Jamal Adams is also out with a knee injury.
Knee injury.
Yeah. Frank Clark, not injury related. He's just not going to play. Good thing we brought him back.
I know, right?
Yeah. And then Jason Peters, the tackle we brought in, he's out with a foot injury.
Okay.
And D. Eskridge is still nursing his ribs. He's not going to play.
No.
Size 2.0.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it.
much. All right, we're good. Pretty good. Nobody
Yeah.
pulled their groin. Pulled it right off.
No perineum injuries today.
No perineums.
Oh,
Not
great
yet.
gosh.
There's
All
still
right.
time.
There's still time. Dustin, thank you so much for the injury
That's
report.
spirit.
And now we go to a man who lives across the ocean in Europe to talk about the weather and fashion with the 12-man Fan Jam Show Fashion Report with Matt from Merry Old England. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you, Moses. So, for the weather this week, I decided to keep things simple. No frills. It's Seattle. It's winter. We know what's going to happen. It's going to be in the low 50s. There's going to be some rain in the air. It's going to be cold. And you know what? That's the way we like it up here, folks. Cold, wet, slippery balls with no wind to speak of.
Yes, sir.
Sort of game where you rely on a kicker to get you the points necessary to win. Isn't that right, little Mo?
Yeah.
Now, what to wear for this game? Well, those Steelers are from Pittsburgh, so we need to find ways to honor the Steel City. And what better outfit to wear than doing this, especially if you're feeling particularly manly and rugged, like Will often does. And then you need to go as the old-fashioned steel maker with the hard hat and the high fluorescent tabard and the big hammer to beat that steel into shape. Just remember to wear those round welder goggles to protect your eyes from the sparks, and make sure you cover your face in soot. But don't overdo it. You're not Justin Trudeau going to a fancy dress party after.
Gotta be careful.
Now, or if you're feeling musical, Google it, kids. It's funny. Or if you're feeling musical and you want to honor the city of bridges, because you get bridges in songs, kind of links. Well, you have plenty of excellent musicians to choose from and some crap ones, but we'll go with the excellent ones. The ever stylish dancer, singer, and actor, Mr. Gene Kelly. Just remember to bring an umbrella, very useful because you're in Seattle, and splash in every puddle you can find.
Nice.
Yeah.
Or why not go as one of the coolest guitarists, singers, and songwriters, Mr. George Benson?
Oh, yeah.
Style oozing from every pore. Just grab your guitar and let's start this masquerade on Broadway. Now, but as for me, if I was going to this game, there really is only one look for me, and of course, only I can pull this off. I'm going to have to go as Rochester's only Miss Christina Aguilera.
There you go.
Complete with a huge platinum blonde wig, a propensity to oversing literally every note in every song, and an unhealthy level of disrespect towards Eminem. Remember, if you are going to go for this look, you will need some of her greatest hits, and I did say hits this time, to complete the look, including Anywhere But Here, which apparently is a song all about that moment when Drew Lock throws a ball, and you're not sure where it's going to land.
Pretty much.
Or, of course, you could go as her classic hit, Gino in a Bottle.
Nice!
Which is a song that describes what Gino looks like when the O-line collapses around him and all these people just sort of bottle him up and he can't go anywhere. So Gino in a Bottle, that's another favourite one. Or my personal favourite, a cover, actually, of an old Etta James song from the Burlesque album, Something's Got a Hold of Me. But if the refs still won't throw a flag. It's the whole of our life. Whatever you choose to wear, just remember to throw a Hawks jersey over that, and you are good to go. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. So Moses, it's back over to you.
Awesome. One of my favorite Christina Aguilera stories comes from Pink when they did that Lady Marmalade with all those famous singers.
Yeah, it's
And
Pink,
Mia.
Christina Aguilera,
Mia.
and Lil
But
Kim.
the story goes that this guy came in and said,
Mr.
okay,
Mina.
Christina is going to get this part and this part and this part. And Pink goes, excuse me, pardon me. Who the F are you and who the F is she? Because these people are here and we're going to do this as a group. And that was the end of it. And
Just
that's where her,
Wood.
it's just this Pink Wood. I can just see Pink going, excuse me, who the F are you? We are going to do this. But,
I liked her. They won an award, an MTV Video Music Award for that video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I remember her speech afterwards was something about thanking whoever thought it'd be a good idea to have them all look like whores.
Well,
I go with that. Hey,
she said it.
let's say, speaking of looking like whores and being models for tokens, let's see what Statsman Mark has for this week in Brick's Picks. All right, Statsman Mark, why don't you tell me that last week he was 2-1. I had him at 15-24, but he told me that he played 2 weeks during the bye and he was 0-6. So he is officially 15-30 against the spread, which is 1 out of 3 if you're paying attention. So this week he likes the following. He likes Tampa Bay -3 points at home against the Saints in New Orleans. He likes the Raiders +3. Give them 3 points. They're going to maybe beat or cover the spread against the Colts here in Indianapolis. And he likes the under of 38, with the Jaguars and the Panthers. So again, Tampa Bay -3 at New Orleans, Raiders +3 at the Colts, and under 38 Jaguars and Panthers. These numbers are presented to you only for entertainment purposes. Don't ever take anything he says or we say ever seriously. Seriously,
You will lose your money.
And if you're betting with Mark, Stutzman, Mark, and Brick, and you're taking his picks, you might want to look into a better way to finance your money. But anyway, that being said, let's go to church.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you're going to church, young man. You will like it. Yes. This is your Reverend Moses of the St. Paul on Church Seahawk Positivity. How is everyone this evening?
Your hair is
doing well.
beautiful.
Thanks, Reverend.
I've
Bit
worn it back a
breezy
little
down
bit.
there.
It's a little breezy in the studios. It is. You know, I was going to get my hair done, and I said no. I leave it. So, my brethren, I want to. You know,
This is going remarkably
it's going remarkably well. If you don't believe the power of Seahawk positivity before last week's game, now is the time to repent and accept that it may be real. Now it
Or
just
your
has.
hair will end up looking like that.
Yeah, I just wish it was more consistent and had a lot better timing, like the Seahawks themselves. But I digress. Now, our church organist, Cleolanda, she's had quite a stressful 2 days, as you can tell by my hair. When Parkinson caught that ball in the end zone, she just kind of froze, and then she all of a sudden started to shake, and then like a huge volcano of positivity, she jumped up and started screaming in tongues. It was crazy. She's saying stuff like, "Oh, Okie for Crumpler, Womack, Kudavides," and a bunch of other former Seahawk names. I don't know what she was saying.
Huh?
She's running around saying a bunch of last names for the Seahawks from the past. I don't know. With her hands up like this, you know, a touchdown signal, which is great. But she scared our congregation half to death, especially when she raised her hands. She was wearing a shirt that was way too short. So, you know, we saw way too much of her testicles, so to speak. At her age,
Wait.
they sagged almost down to her belly button. So once she raised that hand on the shirt, it was over. But poor little Tommy Phillips is still in shock, but he's getting therapy. I digress. Friends, a couple of Ambien. Well, more than a couple. And she's happily sleeping soundly under the altar right now. She has been for 3 days. We're just leaving her there. Friends, so glad to be once again here as we continue to work towards the promised land. And as we move, we are reminded we are always basking in the glow that is Seahawk positivity. Reading from the book of the 2023 NFL season, chapter 16, verses 7 to 12. We were much joyous as we returned triumphant. And as we did return, we were met by those from the Three Rivers dressed as bumblebees. They claimed to be of steel. They tried to steal a victory from us, but those of the steel did not realize the true power of Seahawk positivity. So they were sent home defeated and dejected. Yes, much rejoicing in Atlanta Seahawk positivity. If you believe the power of Seahawk positivity, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Thank you. And if you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make the Steeler offense feel like Dustin after a night of New Year's Eve partying at a free bar, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
I'm in.
Dustin's in.
Dustin would be in for that.
Yep.
And if you believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than Terry Bradshaw at a Steeler fan convention, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud. You know he can some at his age. That is the power, my brethren. Yes, this is the power of the 12s. Yes, it's been almost 20 years, but we cannot forget Super Bowl 40 and the robbing done in Detroit that night that made even Eminem feel unclean watching it. That was sad. Never forget, 12s. Never forget. This has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses of St. Paul Allen Church, Seahawk Positivity. Go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Largent, praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, praise Kenneth Eastley. And as always, go Hawks. We'll be back with your predictions, prognostications, and game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we'll fix Little Mo's finger. We'll do all that at break. And we'll be back right after this. Don't you go anywhere.
bitches.
Hey, you made it to the fourth quarter of episode 1121, the Steeler version of your 12-man Fan Jam Show podcast. That's Matt from Old England. That's Will. That's Dustin. That's Little Mo. And I am your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. And it is time almost to make our predictions. We got a couple other things to do first, but we are in the fourth quarter where it's all about the Seahawks and it's all about the Steelers and it's all about figuring out how this game is going to go. But before we do that, I ate something last quarter. This quarter, I like to drink something from the place that we're playing. And hey, Moses, what you drinking?
Son of a bitch! Come here, Dave.
Hey Moses, what you drinking?
Well, I'm glad you asked me. This is I think our alcohol connoisseurs would call this a lager. I had to get a lager from Oh Mama.
Oh Mama.
Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
Oh Mama.
Nice.
It's always good.
I wanted
It's always good when something you're gonna drink is Skull on Crossbones.
Yeah, that's a good sign. I think that's really good. Voodoo Brewing Company. Voodoo Brewing Company is from Pennsylvania, Meadville, Pennsylvania. I thought that was close enough. But yeah, let's get a really good that's a can right there.
It's a can. Oof.
Yeah.
Gonna open up a can.
Oh,
Chug it.
Mama.
So
Chug.
Chug. Yeah. I will I'll just chug it out of the thing. Here we go. You ready?
Do it. The whole thing. Go.
I'm not drinking the whole thing.
He's got to taste
Go.
it.
That's not bad.
Good. Nice.
It doesn't have the kickback like most beers have.
Yeah.
That's got a kind of almost a woody taste. Is that possible? Is that a good thing? Have you heard that before, Dustin?
Yeah.
Lager has
all
kind of
kinds
like
after flavors.
like a woody after flavor.
But you know,
There's
all kinds of
no-
different aftertaste.
You know what strikes me is I'm not a fan of beer. I don't like beer.
Yeah.
He likes Woodies
Just-
though.
The aftertaste is always like there's this real bitter aftertaste. That doesn't have it. That's interesting.
Drink enough, and then you won't taste anything.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna try again.
sometimes they're pretty good.
Oh Mama.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Now chug it.
I can
Go.
drink that.
Go.
Your face
No.
isn't saying it's brilliant though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean it's beer, so I'm not a fan of beer, but it's not like it's one of the better tasting. I gotta give him a thumbs up on this.
No, two
No.
thumbs up today.
Yeah, I can't lie. Oh mama, Voodoo, yeah,
Mama.
hey, Voodoo
Oh
Company.
mama, that's
Oh
some
mama.
beer.
Something else, oh mama, we gotta do is we gotta look at Little Mo's Madden Challenge. All right, Little Mo, every week before the Seahawks actually play their game on the field, he gets on his Xbox and he plays it. He allows them to play. He just sets it up and he plays the games. Now, last week he played the Titans. Had the Titans winning in overtime 23-17. But 2017 is pretty close. Also, last week he had JSN with 6 catches. He had 6 catches in the game. And we had Geno Smith with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So it was pretty close last week, Little Mo. What do you got this week from your Madden challenge?
Oh boy, do we have an interesting one here.
Do tell.
I will say Kenny Pickett is playing, which is probably not happening in real life. And Minka Fitzpatrick's playing. It's the normal team, just healthy,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Okay.
The Steelers, but Jason Myers makes a 33-yard field goal, 3-0 Seahawks. Yay! Pittsburgh ties it with a 46-yard field goal. Kenny Pickett to Pat Fryermuth for a 12-yard touchdown makes it 10-3.
Tight end.
10-3 at half. It's a little barn burner going on here. 10-3 at half.
Mm.
Kenny Pickett passed to Pat Fryermuth for a 5-yard touchdown. 5-yard touchdown. Makes the score 17-3. Then Kenny Pickett passed to Deontay Johnson for a 5-yard touchdown, 24-3.
Yikes. I don't like where it's going.
Then Kenny Pickett gets hurt. Mason Rudolph comes in, and he passes the touchdown to Allen Robinson for 12 yards. Makes the
Yikes.
score 31-3.
What?
Steelers
don't
make
like
a
your
field goal, make it 34-3. And then Geno Smith passes JSN for a 39-yard field goal makes the score 34-10, and that's the final score. 34
Looks
to
like
10.
I picked the wrong weeks to
Yeah.
stop drinking lagers. Well,
Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
damn.
I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I'm not gonna lie. Kenny Pickett, stats for the game. Kenny Pickett, 21 of 25 for 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mason Rudolph also threw a touchdown. Geno Smith, 19 for 31, 177 yards and 1 touchdown. Rushing, Geno Smith, 7 rushes for 23 yards. Kenneth Walker, 7 rushes for 23 yards. They both had 7 rushes for 23 yards.
Yikes. Not good.
Najee Harris, 19 rushes for 88 yards. Receiving, JSN, 7 receptions for 75 yards and a touchdown. Noah Fant, 8 receptions for 69 yards.
Nice.
George Pickens, 7 receptions for 77 yards. Allen Robinson with a touchdown, and Pat Fryermuth with 2 touchdowns. Jamal Adams led the team in tackles. Not going to happen this week.
Not going to happen.
Boye Mafe and Jordan Brooks both with sacks. And then leading tackle for the Steelers was Mika Fitzpatrick. Not going to happen this week. And then a sack for Cameron Hayward. All
right. You know, it's interesting. It seems like the Madden Challenge, which is a computer playing the game, they use Noah Fant. Seem to use Noah Fant a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
I do when I'm playing also.
Yeah. He gets 7, 8, 9 catches. Interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought DK Metcalf.
Well, we're not going to dwell on that because that was a blowout loss. So we hope that's definitely wrong. It started, 6 or 7 in a row? The first 6 or 7, Little Mo, were accurate as far as wins, losses.
Yeah.
And then, kind of falling off. But that's all right. In this game, again, is 4:05 on the East Coast, 1:05 on the West Coast, and 9 o'clock at night, Matt, over in merry old England.
Yep.
Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites in this game. The over-under is 41.5. Here's what people are picking for our predictions, prognostications, and game balls. Jose, the man who taught me football was a Steeler fan, but he wouldn't want me to pick against my team. Good for you. 27-20 Seahawks, game ball DK, prognostication key. Seahawks get 2 picks. Mike Pascal, time to finish strong. Hawks 24, arm Pittsburgh. I see what you did there. 19, game ball JSN, prediction, touchdown catches by 3 different players, Seahawks players. Chris, Hawks 27, Steelers 20, prognostication Walker with 100 yards rushing, game ball to Lockett. This is the way. Andy, 24-17 Hawks, game ball to Bobby Wagner. Prognostication, 3 passing touchdowns to 3 different Seahawks. Interesting.
Ooh.
Jimmy, here we go. Snot knocker time.
Oh.
Joey Porter Jr. already has the bulletin board material up. I'm sure you all heard about what Joey Porter Jr. said. Like his dad, who's a butthole.
Wait, what did he say? I didn't hear it. Tell me.
Something about making Metcalf cry. He's going to make Metcalf cry or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
Hawks win in a good battle, 23-16. Prognostication, DK makes Porter cry with his touchdown. Game ball to Walker.
Hey.
DK touchdown is what that's going to be. Becky, 27-9. Charbonnet touchdown. Metcalf game ball. Statsman Mark, Seahawks 33-19 for us. Seattle defense 3 sacks. Game ball. Love game ball. Little Mo, what you got for us?
So I didn't know about that little saying, but now that I do, just a little thing about Joey Porter Jr. He is a press corner, so he likes to do press man.
Good.
So a lot of that.
That's awesome. Exactly. Love it.
Yeah. So that I know that's how he plays, and that's what his specialty is. And the fact he said what he said, I'm going to say 31-21 Seahawks.
All right.
I'm going DK with a touchdown and DK game ball. Because he will defeat press one-on-one.
Oh, he will. He'll
outrun you, or he'll just run you over. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That'll be fun. Maddie, what you got? Hello. What you got for us?
I think we'll see Seahawks 20, Steelers 17. Let's see if we can get it on a hat trick.
Why not?
For games, why not? I think there's going to be some sacks in this game, but I think we Seahawks will get a strip sack fumble against the Steelers. I can have that. And my game ball, I'm going to give it to Mafe.
Well, Matt, there's going to be 53 sacks on each team, actually. Thank you. I'm funny, guys. Thank you.
Oh, the players and
ball sacks, testicles.
They're naughty bits. Justin, what you got?
I'll say 27-24 Seahawks. I like Metcalf in this one too, but instead of scoring a touchdown, I'll say he'll get over 100 yards receiving. And I'd like to give a game ball to JSN, I think.
Justin.
Will, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I'll say Seahawks 28, Steelers 24. I say Seattle is going to probably Geno, but I'm going to say Seattle in case Drew Lock has to go in. Seattle's going to have at least 2 passing touchdowns, if not 3.
Oh, DJ Dallas.
What's that? Yeah.
DJ Dallas.
That counts too.
That counts too. Yeah.
That happened, but it would count. And my game ball is going to DK as well.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn.
I guess so.
Yeah, why not? Last week, it felt like the Seahawks were engaged in a friendly competition between their quarterbacks in a version of anything you can do, I can do better. After Locke marched the team down for a last-second touchdown at home, seasoned starter Geno Smith decided he'd show that he could do the same thing on the road. But I digress. This week, the Seahawks head home to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in a rematch of the most crooked Super Bowl in NFL history. Head coach Mike Tomlin of the Steelers, who looks like the twin brother of actor Omar Epps, has his teams like he does every year on the brink of the playoffs. Now, at 8-7, the Steelers are once again on the verge of another postseason. And to borrow some of Omar Epps' movies, Tomlin hopes this trip to Seattle isn't a deadly voyage and that the program has the juice to keep his job so he won't become a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood because he's unemployed. Like so many Steeler programs before it, this team is once again led by their defense, particularly TJ, don't you dare call me JJ Watt. All TJ, not JJ Watt, has done this year is lead the league in sacks at 17. Atop the NFL sack leaders list as a place, TJ seems to be very comfortable year after year. Despite the consistency of their head coach and the consistency amazing year-in, year-out performance of their special Watt brother, this team seems to be falling as the season comes to completion. They have gone 2-4 in their last 6. Those 2 wins both coming over the Bengals. The Steelers are hoping to keep their postseason hopes alive by sneaking into Seattle and getting a win without the assistance of a Bill Levy-led group of striped shirts. But not this week. No Bill Levy for you. No key to the city for Jerome Bettis. No phantom holding calls. Watch the Seahawks get not 1, not 2, 3 sacks. Watch my game ball Boye Mafe show JJ Watt, he might not be the only NFL defensive force in the game. Never forget, people. Never forget. Seahawks 20, Pittsburgh Steelers 17. 3rd time's a charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a salty Seahawks fan.
Salty Seahawk fan. That's what we all are. And that's time.
About that Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that being said, it's time to wrap up another amazing, wonderful show, edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. We hope you enjoyed yourself. I learned something. You might have a little laugh. We learned a lot. I learned what a pierogi is, and I learned that not all lagers taste like garbage, which is interesting for me.
Yeah.
New world.
I learned that people's grandpa's ball sacks look different.
Yeah, it's a learning experience for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
education.
On that note, on behalf of Matt from Maryland, England, Will, Little Mo, Dustin, Statsman Mark, and Kona, and April, and Abby, and
she's over here in a box.
She's over in her box. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Church of Seahawk Positivity saying, until next time, as always, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Oh, yeah, go Hawks.
Never forget. Never forget.
True.
Never forget.
All right.